right, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:30. Teresa, would you do roll call, please?
Sure. Chairman Riker,
Here.
Vice Chair Sloan,
Here.
Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Bennett,
Here.
Commissioner McDonald.
Here.
Yeesh, I got to get used to these names.
All right, well, we kind of have a little bit of a new crew here. Let's start with the invocation and pledge, and then before we approve the meetings, I'd like to have a welcome, and everyone can introduce themselves. So does anybody want to lead the invocation? All right, then, I will. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here before you this evening to do what we have come to do for the people that we serve. Lord, we ask for your wisdom and guidance in our decisions, Lord. We ask for clear-headedness, Lord. We ask for you to be among us and with us, Lord, because we are here to serve and serve the people that you have asked us to take care of. Lord, thank you for everyone that's on this committee that's volunteered their time. Thank you for the paid people that have volunteered their time to this committee, their evening, Lord. And thank you for being our Lord and our God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And now the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So, Nelson McDonald is our newest member. We're so glad to have you. Thank you for saying yes to this, Nelson. I just think you can bring so much value to the organization and with all your background and all. Would you like to tell a little bit about yourself so that those who don't know you might know something about you, and then we can tell about ourselves too?
Okay, we're going to limit this to 30 minutes, my speech?
3. Where's
Three's
that
good.
timer thing?
3 is good, yeah.
I'm
Put that
teasing.
timer on.
I'm teasing.
My name is Nelson McDonald. I grew up in Cocoa Beach, Florida. I went to the University of Tennessee. I went to Harvard. I've been to UCLA. My background's in real estate, financial planning, and finance. A variety. I've had a real estate license since 1979. I've been a broker for the most significantly for the Jack Nicklaus Development Corporation. We did about $400 million at that property. All the properties, I spent about 30 years doing mostly gated high-end communities. The total of those sales was about $1.1 billion. So I've been in real estate in a variety of roles: as owner, as project manager, as sales and marketing director. And I've swept a few floors and cleaned out a few bathrooms in that process. So it's varied experience. I'm delighted to be here. I had the privilege of spending a little time with Teresa before we had the applications complete, and just a wonderful woman she is, and her experience. She took the time to tell me her story coming here from the very beginning and how she worked her way up to become CEO of New Smyrna Beach Housing. So it's really a privilege and honor to work with all of you. Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome, Nelson.
Yes,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Welcome.
How about you?
My name is Sue Bennett.
Sue, can you move?
Wilder
I
is
can't hear you.
Wilder is my first name, but everybody calls me Sue. I've been in nursing for probably 40 years. I have 5 children. I'm from Maine. I haven't been on the board long. I'm rather new, but I enjoy it. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate all the people on the board. So, welcome to you.
Thank you.
And Sue lives in our newest facility that we opened last August,
Oh, wonderful.
Greenlawn Manor.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So she helps all the residents there kind of like ad hoc, right?
Perfect.
I'm Regis Sloan. I've been on the Housing Authority Board since
2012.
2012. I'm active in my parish, Our Lady's Door of the Sea Catholic Church. I am the coordinator for our Human Service Ministry. We offer a lot of support to people, including those who live in Housing Authority properties. And welcome, I think you'll enjoy it. As you can see, I've been here for a long time.
Thank you. And tomorrow is Regis's birthday.
Oh,
Ooh, happy birthday.
you're a fellow Gemini,
Absolutely. I could tell that, Michelle.
because my birthday's Saturday.
See, I knew that.
My birthday's in a couple of weeks.
See? Okay. We're all June girls.
Okay, Michelle?
Well, I know Nelson. Hi, Nelson.
Hi,
Good to
Michelle.
see you. But I'm Michelle Davis, and I've been in real estate too for my whole career. In fact, Teresa liked me because my very first job was doing recertifications for a Section 8 senior building, and she tried to get me to work for her. And I said, I'm done with that.
Correct. I cried.
Well, I am done with that. But anyway, so I've been a broker. I own real estate investments. I manage real estate for my family. It's just an interest of mine, and I've done it all my life. So when I had the opportunity to be on the housing board, I jumped.
Nice.
And Nelson, you and I know each other as well from myself being in title insurance and you being in real estate, and we've done some things together with the Board of Realtors, and I think we share the same faith, which is really important to me, and I don't know, let's see, I serve on the Charter Review Board right now. We're about done with our work. I've been on City Commission. I've been in title insurance all my life in many facets of it, both regional, national, and local. So it's just been a great career. And I retired about 2.5 years ago. And so this board has my heart because I really care about the people that we serve. And so I just, that's what brings me to every meeting. So I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Judy, if I might add, I was placed on the board, shall we say, in 2012, when the city of New Smyrna, the then mayor, removed all of the sitting commissioners because, for a variety of reasons.
It was actually 2010.
Well,
So it's even
who knows?
longer.
You know, what's a couple of years? And Teresa learned along with us, and we had a very skilled executive director who was very open with his desire to have Teresa take over his position, and he trained her properly, and she listened properly, and she did, and that's been one of the great delights. I've told Teresa that there's one project left, and then I am going to retire from the board and let someone with different ideas come on the board.
Teresa, can I add about the Channel 2, the segment for the housing for the elderly
Let's do that under new business.
under new business?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so first thing is to approve the meeting minutes for April 14th, 2025. So if you've all had a chance to read those, I'll accept a motion to approve in a second.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Tenant account charge-offs.
There were none. I'm sorry, I did not change that.
Okay, we'll just mark none. And no assets to condemn. Good, right?
Correct.
All right, so then the director's reports. Teresa, you're up with those.
Vacancy report, I'll let Ms. Crystal talk about our vacancy report. She is our public housing property manager and our director of operations.
Good evening, I'm Crystal McLeod. We've been doing really well with our open market units. We seem to have quite the system going with Aiden and our applications and flyers with the websites. As soon as the units get empty, we do the unit turnover and already have applications lined up for the next people to move in. So last month I did 3 move-ins on the same day for everybody, May 1st. We have a transitional supportive housing family and 2 other separate families with children that we were able to get in and give them affordable housing, and they're really excited. And has started a whole new chapter in their own house that they never had before. So it's an awesome feeling. We also have finally had progress with Turgot. The cabinets are complete. We're doing the last couple touch-ups, and we have a family for that unit. And they're really excited too with one child. So we're moving definitely along and have applications in the background for all the pending units that we might have in the future. So I think we got quite the system going on now.
Good job, Crystal.
Yes,
Yeah,
good
good
job.
news.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for me before?
You kept the faith and a sense of humor about it.
Yes, definitely so. You have to. Thank you, guys.
Very nice. I'd like to point out on the public housing vacancy report, you'll notice there are 2 relocations on that property in Enterprise Homes, apartment number 28, apartment number 4. We received 40 tenant protection vouchers from HUD for relocation of Live Oak Homes, but we can also use it for Enterprise Homes. So since Enterprise Homes has already been deemed under our demo disabo application with HUD and obsolete housing, we're not allowed to move people back into the empty units. So what we're doing is we're utilizing the tenant protection vouchers we receive from HUD, and when we have air conditioners or tankless hot water heaters or things that are going to be too costly for us to repair, then we're given those tenants vouchers to move into the voucher program. They will still have assistance, it just won't be public housing. It'll be a Section 8 voucher. So their rent is still subsidized. They still pay 30% of their income for rent. But I did want the board to know what the relocation process is. With the relocation, we do pay all of their relocation costs. That's a requirement when we're doing a demolition and a disposition. So a lot of times it's cheaper to relocate the family than it is to pay for a new air conditioning unit at $6,000. So.
Okay.
So right now we have 2 that have moved with the relocation. I think we have issued 3 more vouchers. We have issued 3 more vouchers for Enterprise Homes.
The plan is to have everyone moved out by, do you have a date or timeline?
No, not necessarily. It's just
Yes.
as things break and,
Okay.
you know, instead of putting the money into the properties when they've already been deemed obsolete by HUD, let's go ahead and get them moved. If you remember with Green Lawn Terrace, when we moved 34 families all at one time, it overloaded the rental market when trying to get 34 families housed within 120 days. So it's better to issue the vouchers and get them relocated a little bit at a time. That way we don't have that influx into the community all at one time.
Makes good sense. Okay, anything more on the property report?
No.
And the FSS report?
Our FSS report, we have 76 participants. We have one that is ready for graduation. She will come out and graduate and give up her voucher the end of July. Her mother passed away, and she is going to be raising her siblings, and her mother left the house to her. So she is actually in her 5-year completion of the FSS program. So she will be graduating with escrow.
That's a
And
success
she
story.
she is going to be the FSS headline on our next newsletter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for her.
Yes. She's done a lot of work to get through the FSS program. She's very dedicated.
And now through the program, now she knows how to handle a home that she's been given.
Yes.
So that's like, what a success story, right?
Correct. Yes. Total of 245 family members in that program. We're pending contracts for 4. We have 11 with escrow, 56 with 0 escrow. That does not mean they're not working. That means that their income has not increased, or their rent has not increased since they've signed their contract to develop an escrow yet. So although they may be working, their rent hasn't increased. The only time they get escrow is when their rent increases. A portion of that increase is put into an escrow account. Okay?
And the rent increases because they're making more money.
They're making more money. And with us being moved to work now, we only do annuals every 3 years. So they have to report their increases or their changes, but we don't have to use that increase if they don't want us to. Now, some of them want us to go ahead and do that increase because they know they're going to get the escrow. It's kind of like a little savings account for them. So we have 3 enrolled in trades and colleges. It's 59 employed, 17 unemployed. Public housing, we have 1 with escrow and 8 with 0 escrow. And as far as the ROS program, that we had that ROS program, which is for public housing only. That program ended the end of May, so that's no longer in existence anymore. So the families that were in the ROS program will be moved over to the FSS program.
So is it going to be more than the 245?
Well, we go by the participants. The participants, that's the number of families. The family members is 245. So it's 76 families with 245 members. So that includes the children and the spouses and everything.
Okay, so I guess I'm asking, with the Ross people moving over on May 31st, are we going to have more than the 76?
Yes, we will. And,
Okay.
and that's okay because the FSS grant opened June 1st. It closes June 30th. Now, once I make sure that the 75 participants or 76 participants are in the HUD system, because HUD system has to match our system. Once we have 75 participants in the HUD system, I will be able to apply for a second FSS worker.
Okay, good. Okay, services report?
Okay. All right. Miss Aiden is doing a very good job with the FSS, or the services. She's running our community center. For the month of April, we went from 19 to May, 23 senior bags, homeless bags from 69 to 77, frozen meat 64 to 111, food stamp assistant from 10 to 12, gift cards from 272 to 280. Bus passes went down a little bit, but we have acquired some more of those, so they'll go back up. The MREs, we get MREs from the county of Volusia. They had some extras left over from the hurricanes, and our homeless love the MREs because they can heat them right in the bags. So ready-to-eat meals, we went from 31 to 41. We do hygiene, grooming supplies, other links to resources, and she's done 8. Okay, so we did 10 mainstream applications in April. We processed 7. We issued 3 vouchers. In the month of May, we have 8 applications that we are processing this month for May. So right now we have 7 processed, 3 issued, and they are searching for housing. Homeless IDs, we provided for 3 in April, 5 in May. Total number of homeless served from 182 to 192, elderly 89 to 115. Total number of cost of services provided for April and May went from $5,058 to $6,015. So we have a lot of things going out of our CRC. We did house a young lady that was homeless in the woods in a tent for 4 years behind Home Depot into her own apartment last Friday, and she is ecstatic. So
Wow.
we also housed a homeless man out of the First Step Shelter in Daytona, and he got housed in Daytona last week
With the vouchers?
with our vouchers, yes. Yeah, and the services that we provide from the CRC. So we're finding the homeless coming to our community center that qualify for the mainstream vouchers. The mainstream vouchers don't have to use a waiting list. They have to come with a referral from Disability Solutions, HUM, Coalition for the Homeless, First Step Shelter. We have partners with those people, and they are for disabled folks from the ages of 18 to 61 who are homeless. So we have 138 of those vouchers, and I think we have 111 issued right now. So we are still issuing those vouchers and housing the homeless.
Now, is this new tenant going to be qualified for the FSS program? Is she employable?
No, she's disabled. The FSS is for the non-elderly, non-disabled. So it has to be for working class families.
Got it.
We help them overcome their barriers to self-sufficiency.
But how wonderful. She's out of the woods, for heaven's sakes.
Oh my goodness, she's just so happy. So happy. Yeah.
Right.
How did she find us?
She comes to our community center every Tuesday and Thursday for services.
Oh,
And, our employees talk to our clients. It's not just a come in and get your services and leave. They communicate with them. They talk to them. They find out what's going on with them. They find out their situations. And then when they find out those situations, then they're like, hey, we might be able to help you. We got this program, especially if they're, in that mainstream voucher qualification area where they're disabled. A lot of the disabled people get Social Security disability benefits, but cannot afford a place to live because it's too expensive. They only get $970 some a month. Rent for a 1-bedroom is $1,200. So they can't rent a place. It's cheaper for them to live in the woods. So if we can get them those vouchers, and now her rent is $183 a month, and we pay the difference, she can survive.
So, very nice.
pretty
great.
good stuff, Teresa.
Yes, it's exciting. These are the things that we work for. This is the things that we do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, kudos to your staff, though, for creating those relationships.
yes,
I mean, they could just say here, but they don't.
no.
I mean, that's the big thing, is to create those relationships, because that takes time
Right.
and trust.
Well, and I think the big thing that helps is everybody has to sign in when they come for services. So now we have a first name basis. We know them by name. We don't know them by numbers. We know them by name. So now these homeless that nobody knows have a name, and they are treated as people, not as homeless. They're treated as individuals, and I think that makes a big difference.
Quite.
Yeah.
Good job on that. Any other questions for Teresa on those services? All right, so we'll go into new business, your social media policy.
Okay, under the new business, Ms. Sue, would you like to talk about the media first?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I was approached to ask if I'd be willing to do a television segment on the elderly, how expensive and how hard it is for some people to get housing for the elderly. When I came into this program over a year ago, I lived in an RV and all the furniture was bolted down. so I couldn't take only my personals with me. So I started off with a little blow-up mattress and a little rusted chair and a thing. And I had that for a long time, till people saw that, and the church gave me a box spring and mattress and on wheels. That was wonderful. And I've had such good people and thrift shops. And the best place I found in this general area that I refer everybody to is the Frog Ministries. Are you aware of that? It's free. And I think that's the best there is. And all of these thrift shops, they get donations, but they're quite expensive sometimes. But I have found one up next to the Moose Lodge up in Edgewater, and that's the cheapest around. It's run by a husband and wife, and they help you if you need it. So I send people there and wait to get some packages of food and things like this. It's not easy. It's not easy. If you don't have furniture, or if you don't have a spouse, or you don't come to the place with a load of furniture and a lot of money, you have to pay to get into the apartments. And you have to kind of scratch and dig and save and just go along. But I thank the Lord, I've been very fortunate for what I have got. And I've only got 2 loaners left of all the furniture, 2 loaners that I have to give back when I get them. And I just look around when I didn't have anything, just that chair and that bed, and I look and I have a roof over my head. I have food in my refrigerator, and I have a safe place to live.
And
I was
Breno,
very
I think
grateful.
his name's Breno, am I correct? The gentleman that's doing the story, I think it's West 2 News.
The television man,
Yes,
he's Channel 2.
yes.
And he came with his crew and filmed me and asked me questions and filmed my apartment. And he took pictures of when I started with just that little blow-up mattress and a little bit of this. And he's going to show it, I believe, on Channel 2. I think this month, Teresa.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
It'll be in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if he could use it. I told him I wasn't photogenic, and those big lights, that they had, and they in a small room like that, I felt, I don't know if I portrayed myself well, but I hope I did.
You did fine.
I'm hoping.
So they are doing a story on senior homelessness in our areas, and how do we, take care of our seniors, and the challenges that our seniors are facing. We have a lot of seniors right now that have retired, and they're finding themselves taking care of their grandchildren now and having to go back into the workforce because their Social Security doesn't cover enough to be able to raise their grandchildren. So that's some of the things that they were asking questions about, and I introduced them to Sue. Because I know that she came in from an RB and started with nothing. So what a wonderful story, Sue. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
You're a good representative for us, for sure.
I'm not sure, but I tried my very best. And I thank and when people have donated over this year that I've been in the Green Lawn Manor, some things I cannot use but I don't keep them, or I just redonate. I circle them right around and give what I can't use to someone else. So it's worked very well for me. And I don't have any high-end, things like when you first start out, married and things. But what I have, I've worked well with and cleaned, and it's looking really like a comfortable home. And I thank
It
everybody.
looks like a home goods store. That's what it looks like. It's gorgeous.
It's lovely.
People think that, but I don't know what they see. I don't see. I'm in it all the time. But I appreciate it. And I feel very comfortable at Green Lawn Manor. I thank you and
Thank you.
everybody else. Thank you.
That's great, Sue.
Okay, social media policy. Well, we're in a new generation. So this was brought to my attention at the HDLI meeting which is our Housing Development Law Institute that I went to in Washington, D.C. And this is something to protect the agency, employees, and all of our, people that work with us. So the policy provides guidelines for the appropriate use of social media by employees of the Housing Authority of the City of New Smyrna Beach, whether during or outside of work hours, to protect the integrity, reputation, and confidentiality of the authority and the residents it serves. It applies to all social media platforms, including but not limited to Facebook's X, which is formerly Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, blogs, forums, any other online communication channels now or in the future. So this just gives guidelines of what is expected from our employees when they're posting on social media. We do have a Facebook page of the Housing Authority. We do have a website, but we want to make sure that, employees and, Facebook posts and everything is done professionally and that it's not bringing anything derogatory to the Housing Authority. Using a disclaimer when posting personal opinions related to housing or public services, employees should include as disclaimers such as the views expressed here are my own and do not reflect the views of the Housing Authority of the City of New Smyrna Beach. No harassment or discrimination, avoiding content that could be perceived as discriminatory, harassing, or offensive towards any individual or group. Respectful and professional, must maintain professionalism in all communications that reference or may reflect the Housing Authority, its employees, or its residents. Confidentiality, do not share confidential or identifying information about residents, staff, or operations. It includes photos, names, addresses, or any sensitive information. Protecting the authority image. Employees must not post anything that could damage the reputation of the Housing Authority or compromise its relationship with stakeholders, residents, or the community. Use of the social media at work. Personal use during work hours should be limited, must not interfere with the job responsibilities. Employees are not permitted to manage or post on official Housing Authority social media accounts unless explicitly authorized. We do have only one person in our office that posts to our Housing Authority. Other employees are allowed to share that to their personal pages, but Ms. Aiden is our IT person, works directly with our Brooks Jeffries website developers, and she is the only one that posts to our website and to our Facebook page. Prohibited contact would be sharing confidential and protected resident information. That's a HIPAA violation, HUD guidelines. Impersonating the Housing Authority or using its logo without permission, which has happened to one of the agencies here in New Smyrna Beach that used our logo and our name without permission. We had to have it removed. Posting unauthorized office official statements or policy positions. Using social media to disparage co-workers, residents, vendors, or the authority. Disciplinary actions for this. Violations of policy may result in disciplinary action up to including termination and possible legal actions if confidentiality or privacy laws are breached. Any questions or clarifications for any regarding this policy, employees should contact the executive director. These will be, upon approval, given to each employee to sign and date, and they will be put in the personnel file, and they will be given to all new employees.
That's good. And we're going to vote on a resolution on that when we're toward the end of our
That's
agenda
correct.
tax, so, okay. All right, so Executive Director Conferences update from DC.
It was good. DC was great. The first trip, I was sick most of the time. I don't know what happened, but I got there and I was sick. But I made as many meetings as I could. So the first one was our Move to Work conference, which was very, very informative, very good. Got to talk some other Move to Work agencies, got to talk or listen to some of the new HUD secretary, assistant secretary of HUD, with some of the policies and things that are coming down the pike. You know, more or less everything's still up in the air. There's a budget, the HUD budget that came out they call the skinny budget, which is extremely skinny. I'd call it the anorexic budget, but it cuts our HUD funding by 42% next year and sends all of our funding to the states instead of, as a block grant, instead of HUD funding. Of course, you know, this is just talk. It cannot go anywhere without Congress's approval. I'm thinking that this is going to get caught up in legal actions for the next 4 years until we get a new administration, and then they'll throw it out the window, I'm hoping. But if they do try to send it to the state as a block grant, then that means all HUD policies and procedures and regulations are out the window, and now it'll be state policies and procedures and regulations.
Teresa, that's ridiculous and impossible.
Right.
When you first told me about this, and I thought, everything that HUD does and everything that we've learned, and then what you've learned, which is exponentially more than we know with regard to how HUD does all this and how they've been doing it for X amount of years, it's impossible for the states to come up to understand even how this whole system works. And there's already been changes that the Pharaoh convention you and I attended, where they talked about how moving away from public housing and toward more voucher programs, which is really a good solution and which is one we're already doing and a lot of other housing authorities are already doing. You know, if they would like to move that along a little more quickly, that would be certainly a solution. But it's not possible.
It's cutting the Section 8 budget by 42%, which means
It cuts the housing.
we're going to have homeless people again. And if this comes down the pike, it's something that the agency and the board need to look at more closely, because if it does come to having to remove vouchers, then we need to know how to do that as an agency. Right now, in our policy, we have last in, first out, which honestly, after speaking to a lot of agencies and EDs, I think we may want to change that to first in, first out, because last in, first out would be the people that just received their vouchers and just got housed but you know, then we're taking the vouchers away from people who have been on a waiting list for 3 or 4 years, when we have people that's been on the housing program, Section 8, for 25, 30 years and haven't done, you know, anything to become self-sufficient. So, you know, after speaking with, you know, delegates and different people, I think we need to go with the first in, first out. So if they've been on the program the longest, then they've had a lot more time to try to do better. So it's something we may need to consider in the future. It's not something we need to consider right now.
I think we have to have a plan, though. And my big concern is when it goes to the states as block grants, the enormous amount of training that's going to need to take place. And that may not happen. And then it becomes political in nature rather than neutral as HUD is. And that's going to be the really difficult part of it.
Most likely, the block grant would go to the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, because they would be the ones that know how to run the programs.
Right.
So The other part of the skinny budget is not just cutting funding, but also a 2-year term limit on housing. And getting rid of the FSS grant.
What do you mean 2-year time limit on?
2-year time limit for all housing programs. Term limit.
Meaning the people in the program or the
The
program
people that
itself?
get housed have 2 years in the program, and then they're out.
A variation of the transitional housing that we do
Correct.
now, our partnership now.
Correct.
Well, we know from that we have about a 50%.
And I
Success
talked
rate.
to some of our HUD, our big DC HUD people, because they asked me, being a move to work agency, you know, what have you experienced? And I said, look, we have an FSS program. We've been in the program for 5 years now. About 50% of our people graduate and come off the program. So 2 years is not going to work, because right now with a 5-year program, we only have a 50% success rate. So, you know, they want to take that information that we're giving them from our agencies and take that back to DC. And so hopefully I've talked to the right people and got the right ears, and they're going to take it back to the bigger people and Congress and our representatives and
It might, it might work though with the transitional housing program.
Yeah.
It might.
well, and that's fine if they want to put term limits on housing, but you can't get rid of the FSS program that's helping them overcome their barriers.
No.
And so you want to put a term limit on the program, but then get rid of the self-sufficiency grant that's helping them get there.
To do it. It's-
So it's not, that's not going to work.
No.
Well, maybe nothing will happen with it.
Well, it still has to pass Congress, and I don't think this is going to
Yeah.
pass Congress.
Yeah, they need to work on the fraud, waste, and abuse first, not the stuff that's actually working,
Right,
you know.
right. Yeah, what we're doing is working, so,
Well, there's always the tendency to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So,
Did you get any good news from DC?
Thank you, Judy. That was my
Yeah.
question.
regionalization was another thing, where they're trying to regionalize housing authorities, but I think that's more towards very small housing authorities. In the Midwest and the West, they have, for example, you could have one medium-sized housing authority like us, and then 5 small housing authorities that have 30 public housing units, or, 50 public housing units, and, just and no Section 8. So it's just tiny, tiny, small housing authorities, and then what they're doing is they're combining them and regionalizing them to make it a better program. I did the second trip to DC, I was better, and I did a presentation with the Housing Development Law Institute on natural disasters. I did the presentation on floods and hurricanes, and the gentleman I worked with did his presentation from Los Angeles on wildfires and earthquakes. So it was a very interesting presentation. It went very, very well. A lot of things that we discussed in policies and procedures, a lot of the attorneys were not aware of. So they're taking them out to their agencies and saying, hey, you need to put some, preferences in your plan. So this is something we did for Hurricane Ian. At one of my conferences, I learned that we need to have preferences in our admin plan and our ACOP, which is our policies for public housing in Section 8. And what that preference does, it says, okay, in case of a natural disaster, the board is approving a preference to allow these people to move to either another housing authority unit or into a Section 8 voucher, and they would get preference over anybody on the wait list. It also gives you preference to be able to give that to HUD. And HUD, what HUD did in Hurricane Ian was I contacted HUD, said, we got 40 flooded units, well, 38 flooded units. I got to relocate people. HUD immediately in Jacksonville contacted all the agencies in the state of Florida, said, you have any open public housing units, hold them for New Smyrna Beach. And then what we did is we took those agencies to the tenants and said, Sarasota has vacancies, Orlando has vacancies, Sanford has vacancies, Flagler County has vacancy, Park Tarpon Springs has vacancies, Sarasota has vacancies. So those people were transferred to other housing authorities that had available units. Without that preference, we couldn't have done that. So that's a lot of things that the attorneys at HDLI were not aware of. Yeah. So it was good. It was a good conference.
Well, I'm glad you went, because A, you were able to get some really important information that you wouldn't have known and we wouldn't have known unless you went, and B, you were able to influence some lawmakers for favoring the current laws.
Correct.
So, good job. So,
Thank you.
A
Yeah,
lot of good information.
yeah.
Excellent.
Anything else you want to say about that?
No, it was a good conference. We, I was very happy with being able to talk to the right people.
Yeah.
And, they were very interested in the implementations that we've been doing as Move to Work. So a lot of the things that we're doing as Move to Work is what HUD is implementing in the future. So we're more or less pioneering for HUD what works. So.
Well, that seems to me would be a great argument for them to maintain the program.
Absolutely. I think they're going to have a hard time getting that budget through Congress.
We have to get it through the Senate, it's already through the House.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but they're chomping at it now, so we'll see what happens.
They're reading it.
A novel idea.
Right, it is a novel idea. It's not a criticism because you work under the gun, but you really need to read what you're going to vote on.
Well, we'll just keep praying, Teresa.
Always.
All right. All right, so any old business?
No.
And new business is our developments.
Development.
You sent us something about Live Oak that was interesting.
Yes.
I didn't get the attachment, but I read what you sent.
It was.
No.
It was written in the email at the bottom, and unfortunately the board package were already put together when I got that email,
Okay.
so it's not in here. But I will tell you, we have 3 projects open with FEMA. Live Oak 1, Live Oak 2, Live Oak 3, which includes the 38 buildings that were flooded during Hurricane Ian. Live Oak 1 came back at $900 and some thousand for 10 units, which is really good with mitigation of the elevations of the buildings, okay? We were still waiting for Live Oak 2 and 3 to come back. So 2 and 3 came back, and with all of the funding for 1, 2, and 3 that's been sent to the state of Florida for approval, it's a little over $4.5 million in FEMA funds.
That's sweet.
It is sweet.
It is
Very
sweet. Now,
What fascinates me, though, is FEMA is ready to give us $4.5 million, and Congress is about to cut our funding by 42%.
Yeah.
So that doesn't kind of go together.
FEMA is a separate agency.
I get it, and I know they've been working on it, and I know Hurricane Ian was almost 3 years ago now, and yeah, it's taken that long for that to happen.
Hurricane Matthew came through, and we had 100% roof damage.
5 years.
5 years. It took us 5 years to get our deductible of $300,000. So 2.5 years, I'm happy with.
Great.
Of course, you know, we're in the mediation process of the insurance. So whatever we get from the insurance, of course, would have to be reimbursed back to FEMA because we can't double dip. Okay.
Where are we in that mediation?
I talked to Tim and Brian on Friday. Lloyd's of London wants to sit down and have a talk with us, with me and Lloyd's of London and our Keys Claims Group. I'm going to reach out to Becky Sue Mercer, who is the ED of Arcadia, who has the same insurance company with Lloyd's of London and has already spoken with the mediators of Lloyd's for London. So we'll get some insight from Miss Becky Sue to see how to proceed, because we may need to piggyback on her attorney because I don't want to go into any kind of talks without an attorney backing us up. I mean, Keys Claims is a contractor, but they're not an attorney.
So does that put us in a better place now for the financing of the Live Oak project?
The insurance we can use on Live Oak Homes. The FEMA money we cannot. So here's the way the FEMA works. For us to get the $4.5 million of FEMA, which we will get, okay, and then we'll reimburse whatever we get from insurance back to FEMA. But because the Housing Authority is doing a demo dispo and dispoing that property from the Housing Authority to Landings at Live Oak, which is our new name and LLC for that property, we can't use the FEMA money on Landings at Live Oak project. But because we have 12 units at the office still in the Housing Authority, once we receive the money, we're going to speak with FEMA about creating a separate project and transferring the money over to, even though it's a different property, it's still in our ACC. It's still in our contract with HUD. It's still public housing. It's just a different development. So we're going to ask FEMA to allow us to use those funds in Donnelly Homes by the office to expand our office, build a maintenance shop, and rehab the units at the office.
Build the maintenance shop there, did you say?
There's a piece of land that the Shriners owns behind the gas station.
Right.
I think I'm going to ask them if they would possibly sell that to us. We could put a small maintenance shop there. We don't need anything large.
I just might suggest as soon as you get the okay from FEMA that you hit up the Shriners, because other things I think are occurring regarding the Shriners property.
Okay?
So we could do something at Donnelly Homes. We
Yes.
can't use any of the money for Landings at Live Oak.
Not the
So
FEMA
we're
money.
still, what, $4 million short for Live Oak?
I think it's around $4 to $5 million short for Live
Oh,
Oak.
only 45. Oh, I missed.
4 to 5.
Oh, 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it's Live Oak that flooded, that we got the FEMA money for.
That's correct.
So how can we structure it so that money can go there?
Into Live Oak,
Yeah, to our project.
We
Then we
would
got all
have-
the money we need.
we would have to leave Live Oak Homes public housing, and the city's not going to approve it because they've condemned those buildings.
Yeah, but we're going to build something else.
We are building something else, but under a development agreement, which means it's going to be another agency. It's not going to be under the Housing Authority name. It's going to be under Landings at Live Oak LLC.
Well, it seems to me if HUD wants us to get rid of public housing and go to the voucher program, and that's what we're doing, and HUD equals FEMA, FEMA equals HUD.
FEMA and HUD are two different agencies.
Yeah, I know that, but
It-
there's still
it-
the,
Yeah, FEMA, they they have their own rules and regulations when it comes to their funding. So any money that FEMA gives us has to be spent for the housing authority. It cannot be transferred to
For an
Landings at
agency.
Live Oak,
Well, I
or
wonder,
West Side Phase 2, or anything else.
So, but the mediation monies, whatever.
Mediation money
Can go to the landings. at
can go
Live
to
Oak.
Live Oak Homes.
Okay, all
Yes,
right.
because that's insurance proceeds.
Okay.
That's different,
and it's a different, we're working with multiple agencies now.
correct.
Got it. So how are we going to spend the $4.5 million?
Downley Homes, it'll be easy.
Yeah, it'll be easy to rehab. Our air conditioners are already 12 years old. The tankless hot water heaters are starting to go out. The roofs are 12 or 13 years old.
So not on new properties, in other words?
No, no. We would rehab the properties that we already have and expand our office.
and that's all of those buildings that are by your office.
Yes.
But you can't build up or build out because, or can you?
We could build up if we had enough money.
Not enough money, I don't think, to build up. It's not enough money. It's only $4.5 million.
But if you have to re-roof anyway, right? But then, are they structurally sound enough to do that?
I don't
There's
see why
cinder
not,
block.
but we would, we would need to have an architect and engineer on board to draw up those plans for us and find out exactly how much it would cost us.
And they are 75 years old, 70 years old.
Well, yeah,
Right.
they're
70?
Yeah, 1954.
Yeah, they're
So
set.
just making them nicer on the inside and new windows.
Yes, they
Kinda would
need new
be
windows,
what
new
you would do
windows,
with
new
that money.
ACs, new hot water heaters, new roofs. I mean, new paint.
Well, if you have to spend it. That would be nicer for the people that have to live in them.
Yeah,
Can you do landscaping too?
yes, we can.
That would be nice, because they need some of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's all good news.
Little white fences.
I mean, it helps somebody, you know? If
It's
we're not-
still helping the same people that we were serving in Live Oak Homes, and that's what FEMA's telling me.
Yeah.
As long as we're still serving the same population that we had over there, we can use it on another property.
Yeah.
And we are serving the same population. It's public housing.
How long do you think the partnership with the landings at Live Oak is going to last?
We're probably not going to get funded this year. It's probably going to be next year.
And then what's happening with Green Lawn,
West Side Phase 2.
West Side Phase 2, pardon me, West Side Phase 2?
We're applying for 9% tax credit again this year.
And this will be our fifth try or fourth?
4, number 4.
Well, we just keep at it, right?
Yeah.
You never know. You never
But
s-
our application for the demolition is at SAC, and we're waiting for approval. HUD has now changed the SAC application, and they want it split. So there's one application for the demolition and one application for the disposition. So although we have it in, all of it together, now we have to split it out. So Jane and I are working on doing the demolition application by itself so we can get approval to at least demo the property. Once it's demoed, then it's fenced. We don't have that landscaping to take care of anymore.
When
You
are
don't
we,
have people prying off the boards either.
Right, right.
when are we going to get the FEMA money?
Right now, it's at the state of Florida for approval, which is the last step.
So that'll give us something to work on while we're waiting for these other things to come through.
Correct.
That may be the project for me.
No, I don't think that's what you meant.
You never know.
All right, any other questions about the development? Because it looks like Teresa answered the question too about the West Side Phase 2.
Right.
and the mediation updates, and we already knew about the 3.6 million from CDBG at the council, from county council. Anything else you want to ask her on any of this?
No, I'm all set.
All right, moving right along. So resolutions, the first resolution is 2025-10, and that is to approve the social media policy that Teresa read to you. She read the entire thing for the record, so I'll entertain a motion to approve in a second.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, the next is a resolution for the Housing Authority of the City of New Smyrna Beach to approve the resolution for Executive Director contract with performance incentives. I guess I can start, and then Teresa, if you would give me some comment on this. So just to bring everyone up to date who's new, last year, actually it was in September, we rewrote Teresa's contract, and in that contract we added a few things of note, and one was that we may give a, let me just get that in front of me, that we may give a COLA increase, and that was not in her contract before, so we may give a COLA increase. And we had raised her salary by 10% to $129,800, and that happened in September. And her contract is good for 3 years. And we may provide bonuses. And let's see what else of note. Oh, that we allowed Teresa to, if she does not take her vacation, that she's allowed to be paid for the vacation time that she did not take. Because when she's been really busy with all of the floods and whatever, she just never got a chance to take vacation. So those were some of the things that were important in the renewal of the contract that we did in September. So I talked to Teresa, and we talked about doing a COLA adjustment this year, which is at 2.5%. And she seemed okay with that. And if we give it in a bonus, then Teresa's able to take it anytime during the year that she wants to take it. And it doesn't increase the salary. It just would be a bonus, but she would still get the COLA. So she could take it all at one time. She could take it maybe some now, some at Christmas, whenever that she wants to take it. And I believe she does the same kind of things for her employees. They're going to do the same thing for the employees. So does anyone want to comment on that?
Well, I was a little confused when I got the whole thing because I didn't have any of this information, of course, on the fact that you had a new contract and your salary was raised according to market rates, correct?
According
Last
to
September.
other housing authorities
Right.
that are,
Right,
Yeah.
comparable. And because I'm like, how am I supposed to do this here in an open forum? And I have no idea what our budget says or what is going on, but now it's a little clearer. So in 3 years, you will need a new contract.
correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, but, so with the salary increase that you got last year, this is an annual COLA increase that's in your contract?
It's the board's decision whether they
Oh.
want to give me a COLA increase
Okay.
or a performance incentive.
Bonus?
Well, we can't call it bonuses. HUD doesn't allow us bonuses,
Oh, okay.
but we can do performance incentives. So,
Same thing, maybe, kind of?
yes,
So that could be 2.5%, in other words?
correct.
Okay, all right.
That's fine, thank you.
No, I called Judy today, I'm like, what do we do?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't call.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
No, you didn't.
Well, I was totally, didn't know what to do.
I explained to you where you could look for the contract from last year, so you
Thought
would get
called her.
the benefit of reviewing the contract.
sorry.
It's fine.
Well, I didn't know where to do that,
That's
Judy,
Perfect.
how
And
to
I
find
told
that
you.
information, so.
September 3rd
Here's-
meeting.
You're more than welcome to call me with any of those questions.
I
I'll send
actually
you
told
the
her you,
contract.
she could call you for the real skinny,
Or talk about it tonight.
or
which
talk
we're
about it
doing.
tonight.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Here is my only concern. My only concern is our money. That is my sole concern. Has nothing to do with you, Teresa, and you know that for more than 15 years. My concern is money. Do we have enough money to do this?
Yes, I put it in the budget for 2.5% increase for all employees across the board.
That works for me. I'm fine.
Any comments from this side?
No, my only comment is, can we review that in the budget, just so I understand where it is in the budget? It's in this package tonight, right?
I
I
don't
did-
think
I-
the full budget's in the package. Let's see here.
No, it's not.
We have,
I didn't see it.
our budget is split between public housing, Section 8, Open Market and Development Corporation. So we have 4 different pots that we pull from,
Okay.
okay? But if you would like a copy of our budget, I can send that to you. That's not a problem.
Okay, it's in addition to, okay, so this budget that's on, well, I'm looking at the PDF, it's pages 30, 31, and 32 for PHA only. So you've got some other budgets that aren't in
Yes,
here?
yes, some are
Okay.
PHA and some are Section 8.
Okay,
And we
gotcha.
pull from all pots.
You know what, Nelson, that would be really cool if you could be our budget person, because Rosemary Walker she was a CPA, she used to be on our board, and she always could follow the money. And that would be super if you would want to take a look at the budget or go through the financials every month, of course, but that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, actually.
So
It'd
if you
help me
look,
get up to
if you
speed.
look in public housing, under the 01, the 4110.5, which is under the administrative expenses, the non-technical salaries, that would be public housing salaries for all of the staff in the agency. Maintenance is separated out in a different budget line item.
That's not in here. That one's in here?
It's not in
that
the
you just
administrative
mentioned?
salaries, it's in the maintenance salaries.
Okay.
On the next page.
Yes.
We're talking about PHA right now, correct?
Right now, that's the PHA.
Can you tell me that page number? We're looking at the budget dated 5/24 at 1:12 PM.
Hold on.
That's the copy I've got that is with this package
Oh,
for
okay,
tonight.
5/24, 1:12 PM, page B2-1.
Okay,
It's right under the explanation of the monies,
The public housing.
under public
Memo.
housing, 01, public housing. So you have your revenue expense statement, and then you have your budgeted income statement.
Does our year start, when does our year start?
April 1st,
Okay, that's, okay.
yeah.
and tell me again which line item it was?
The very first one, non-technical salaries,
right.
4110.
Is there anywhere where there are footnotes that explain that?
No, I could get you the budget, though, that Sonia did a full budget review with the board
Okay,
in May. Or April, I think it was April.
April. It's nice.
So
For
there
the-
were quite a few adjustments made in March for the, for the year end is
For
what
the year
we're
end, yeah,
seeing.
this is
Okay.
this is not the final, because this is the March 31st, and that's our fiscal year end, so these are not the final numbers yet, because there's a lot of adjustments we have to do before the auditors get here.
Okay, well, that answers why I was having a little heart palpitations there when I first was reading it. I'm going, okay, something happened in March. Got it. Okay, that makes sense then.
Okay, well, back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
So if it's in the budget, as Teresa says, that she's going to give 2.5% to all employees, and she's included in that as well, and it's already in the budget. I mean, I said to her, it seems to me, all these fives that I have on the reviews, she's got fives and a few fours, which is always exceeds expectations and performs at a high standard, and then some fours. I'm like, Teresa, really? I mean, how do you not give somebody who gets all these, always exceeds expectations, an increase? And what she said was, it's not in the budget. What's in the budget is the 2.5%. And that's what I'm giving my people, and that's what I feel I should have, and nothing more than what I'm giving my people, which I thought was a very sort of honorable statement to make, honestly. So I would be in favor of doing the 2.5% for Teresa as a incentive, and then let her take it whatever time of the year that she wants to, given that it's in the budget and it matches what the other employees are getting. But that's only my point of view. I would need a motion and a second.
I find that appropriate also, and that's one of the reasons why we did all the work with your contract, Teresa, to be able to manage these kinds of things. And particularly, we were aware of the fact that our funds were not what they had been at other times. I would like to make a motion that we accept resolution number 2025-11 with the amount of 2.5% COLA.
Second.
As a, not a bonus, a performance incentive, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Teresa. Very honorable. Okay, now we're ready for the financials. And that's your part, Teresa.
Yay. Okay, so for public housing, Sonia does these for me and reviews them. So Nelson, she had a death in the family this morning, but maybe give her a week or so to kind of gather her composure. I'm sure she'd be glad to sit with you and explain all of our budgets and
Okay.
what we do. But I can email that to you so you have time to look at
Oh,
it
that'd be
before you
great.
meet with her.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So what we're going to go over is our public housing program, and this is the narrative for the 12 months ending March. And this is not the final March numbers because we still have March open right now. We're waiting for the FDS to be submitted. We have till June 14th to submit our unaudited financials to HUD. They should be submitted this week. And then we have till December 31st to finalize our budget, or our audit. Our auditors will be here July 7th, the week of July 7th, to start our audit. So our total operating revenue, 1,295,885, and our expenses at 915,957.46, with our total net income for the year of 379,927.86. Our bank balance is 1,853,282.21, and this includes other cash of 826,025, restricted cash of 110,638, insurance proceeds, which is restricted because we need to use those for landings at Live Oak, 807,371, security deposits of 10,334, and we have other restricted cash at 98,911. We have investment CDs of $5,000 or $50,000, and that's at Charles Schwab, and we have 2 of those accounts in CDs. The operating fund balance as of May 29th was $39,150. These are income that is still outstanding that we can draw down from HUD. FSS grant of $66,603, and the 2024 capital fund of $355,448. Now, as a small agency, the capital fund program can be used for operations. So if you look at these numbers, we have $355,448 for operations or any capital funds we need to do.
Are we considered a small agency with this? Because I thought we were considered a medium agency.
It depends. For capital fund program, right now, we're still a small agency.
Okay.
We can still use the funds fungibly.
I'm also looking at this account. There's a CD account at 5% and $17.26.
I think it's 0.05.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it came out the way it was
Think
supposed to
so.
come out. So it's supposed to
Okay.
be at 5%, but I'm not sure that's exactly what
No.
we're getting.
Just a question.
But when does it expire?
Let me check with Sonia on that.
But I mean, it's like
I think we
6 months
did,
out,
I think we
right?
did 6 months on both of them.
Yeah, because you can't look on what it is right now,
No.
because it's only going to accumulate. So
Right.
you don't really know what it is till it's time
Right.
for it to expire.
Right. Yeah, this is just the balances that they're sending us on the monthly statement,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I believe they're both 6-month CDs. One for Section 8, one for public housing. But not good returns.
No,
Any
terrible.
questions?
Just a lot of adjustments in March.
There will be,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Yes.
Okay, are you going to go on to the next one, Teresa? The
No more questions on public housing?
housing choice vouchers.
Okay, Section 8, operating reserves at $4,315,100. Expenses at $4,371,631.45. Loss of $56,530.68. We've increased the numbers of vouchers and income received from HUD. The net loss is a result of an increase in the operating expenses. So our restricted net position is $363,901. That is HAP funds that we can't use for anything but landlord payments. Our unrestricted is funds that we use for salaries and supplies and different things like that, $496,862.65. So our total reserves is $867,6410. Our bank balance is $1,064,755.51.
Could we go back to
Yes.
this increase in the number of vouchers and
Yes.
the net loss?
Yes, I think this is not an increase in operating expenses, it's an increase in HAP expenses to the landlords. I think that was not put in there correctly. HAP expenses is the housing assistance payment for Mr. McLeod, so you understand what we're talking, Mr. McDonald, I'm sorry. HAP is our housing assistant payment that we pay to our landlords, and the more we spend, the more we get next year. So HUD takes the amount that we spend from January 1st to December 31st, and then that's what we get subsidized on for the next year. Now, HUD has quite a bit of reserves that they are holding on our behalf. And those reserves are to be used for our project-based vouchers as we get ready to rebuild and put project-based vouchers into our new units. So as we did with Green Lawn Manor, we had 70 project-based vouchers go into that property to help subsidize the construction and the management of that property. So as we go into Live Oak landings at Live Oak and Westside Phase 2, Gardens and Green Lawn, then we will have another 80 vouchers, 40 for each property, that we are holding HUD-held reserves for. So next month, when I come back to the board, I'm going to be asking for a resolution to take some of those HUD-held reserves and hold them for the project-based vouchers so that HUD can't come back and sweep them away. So as long as I have a board resolution and we put it into work plan for next year, HUD can't come and take those reserves. As of right now, I believe we have $1 million in HUD-held reserves that we are going to need to fund those 80 vouchers.
Bring it.
Yes. Any questions on Section 8 program? And thank you for that, Ms. Regis.
Welcome. It was as much information for the newer board members.
Yeah, that was not operating. That was
No,
definitely
right. I
HAPCom.
thought it was that.
Yeah, we're good on operations. Okay. So any questions with Section 8? Okay, on to the Development Corporation. This is our nonprofit instrumentality of the Housing Authority. So for Mr. McDonald, the Housing Authority back in 2017 developed an instrumentality, which is another corporation under the same board as the Housing Authority, but without HUD funds. Okay, so this is a development corporation. We have 12 properties in this development corporation and three shovel-ready lots ready to build on if we get funding for those units. So the operating revenue for that property this year was 205,275, expenses at 182,602. So our net income was 22,672, and our bank balance is 195,724. And our open market program is kind of like our development corporation, except it's under the Housing Authority and not under a separate entity. But these are 10 units that we own and manage that are non-HUD funded also. So these units, when we got done building them, they were all zero debt. So we have no debt on these units. So the income that comes in goes back into more affordable housing. Some of the properties are Section 8, so we get a little higher rent for those Section 8 tenants. But what we're finding now is we have more market rent people that are renting at $1,250 a month for 3 bedrooms because that's what they can afford right now. We do have contracts with the Volusia County because a lot of these units were built with county funding. So we do have contracts with them for 15 years to keep them affordable. So for the open market program, we have 10 units. Total operating revenue was $110,003. Expenses were $168,107. We had quite a few units in the open market program that were turnovers, and it took us a while to get those. Those were the units that we were having trouble getting rented until we changed the way that we were doing our procedures. So our loss was $58,103. We do still have a bank balance of $297,475. All of those rented units are rented, or we have applications on those now, and they're ready to move in.
Are you projecting, Teresa, that next year we won't have such a loss? an operating
Correct.
loss?
Yeah, it's already correcting itself just with the move-ins that we have.
Okay, well, I have no other questions. Does anyone else have anything for Teresa?
My only other question, I think I understand the 4 different components that make up these budgets. Do we have a consolidated budget anywhere that totals all 4 projects to where we get an overall look at everything?
Consolidated budget, yes, I can send that to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Does anybody have any comments that they'd like to make? Any commissioner comments before we adjourn? I have just one question, Teresa. You had said that you chose an insurance company. Did you need us to ratify that? Because you were looking between FFIB and FPHASIF.
I went with Farmy this year, which is a different insurance company than
Which is
what
none
we.
of these.
Neither, no.
Farmy,
Fermi.
that's Fossif.
Right.
No,
so
we
it's-
did not go with Fossif this year. Farmy came in cheaper.
So do you need that?
I do not need approval. I brought it to the board for their attention so that you knew what I was doing,
Okay,
but it's in the budget, so.
okay,
And they came in cheaper and with a better quality.
okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
I don't have anything, just to say thank you for all you do, and we really appreciate the time that, and the heart that you put into it, and your staff as well. And I know you're going through some staff changes, so that's going to add some more stress, but once you get them going, that'll be great.
It's part of the, we're going through an agency change right now. And I think it's going to work very well. My maintenance foreman will be retiring December 31st and coming back to the agency as part-time employee for 16 hours a week. So there are some changes in the agency, but they are necessary changes. As a small agency now, we don't need 2 full-time maintenance positions, so.
And thanks to everybody here on the board for your level of service and your dedication and volunteerism, especially our church lady.
The church lady, yes.
People don't realize how much this woman does and the connection that she is between the Housing Authority and Our Lady Star of the Sea. And she comes to, on Tuesdays or Thursdays and meets with the residents and helps them get the gift cards and gets money from Father. And Father is very, very dedicated to.
I hear her name
very
everywhere.
dedicated.
Such good response to
And
it.
she's in charge of the,
Loved Regis.
she's in charge of that at our church. So she's got Father's ear and pretty much, I don't want to say tells Father what to do, but it greatly influences him, and he really has a heart for.
I
the-
delude myself at
Yeah.
times.
She also helps with our family self-sufficiency program.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, that's a great, we're very interested in that. We offer support to the self-sufficiency. If they're taking a course, they want to be certified, they need uniforms. We have a great commitment to people becoming self-sufficient because we're a better society when we're self-sufficient. So we do a lot of that. Yes, it's fun. That's a fun thing to do.
So we don't want to lose you yet, Regis.
And
We may have to delay a project.
Well, what is this project?
Teresa, everything that you're doing is top-notch, and you're keeping everything right at the very top. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, okay, 7 o'clock, right up, straight up, meeting adjourned.
All right.